On the morning of August 22, 2025, the sprawling urban landscape of Metro Manila awoke to a deluge that would quickly spiral into one of the most disruptive flood events of the year. Triggered by the convergence of a low-pressure area, LPA, and the intensified southwest monsoon known locally as the Habagat, the rainfall began before dawn and continued relentlessly, overwhelming drainage systems, paralyzing traffic, and stranding thousands of commuters across the capital. By 5 a.m., the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration, PAGASA, issued an advisory. The LPA east of Aurora had intensified into Tropical Depression Isang. Within hours, the skies over Metro Manila darkened, and the city's arteries began to drown. At 7:25 a.m., the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, MMDA, released its first flood bulletin. Roads in Parañaque, Mandaluyong, Pasay, and Manila were already submerged. Gutter-deep floods, 8 inches, were reported at Dr. A. Santos Avenue and Canene Avenue in Parañaque, while the EDSA Shaw Tunnel northbound in Mandaluyong was similarly inundated. By 9 a.m., conditions had worsened. Tire-deep flooding, 26 inches, rendered Roxas Boulevard and Calao Avenue impassable to all vehicles. In Manila, the stretch from City Hall to San Marcelino was completely shut down. Commuters waded through knee-deep waters near Taft Avenue and Padre Fora, clutching umbrellas and plastic bags, their shoes floating beside them. As the rain intensified, local governments scrambled to respond. By 9:30 a.m., classes were suspended in at least 9 cities: Manila, Caloocan, Malabon, Navotas, Parañaque, Las Piñas, Mandaluyong, Pasay, and Muntinlupa. The Department of Transportation, following an order from President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., announced free rides on MRT3 and both LRT lines starting at noon. Despite these efforts, chaos reigned. Jeepneys stalled mid-route, buses rerouted or abandoned trips, and train stations overflowed with stranded passengers. At United Nations Station on Taft Avenue, hundreds waited in vain for transport, their faces etched with frustration and fatigue. These figures, updated hourly, revealed the scale of the crisis. Even areas typically resilient to flooding, such as Makati's Gil Puayat Avenue and Mandaluyong's Boni Avenue, were submerged. In Barangay San Andres, Manila, 34-year-old Maricel de la Cruz carried her daughter through waist-deep water to reach a temporary shelter at the local barangay hall. "We didn't expect it to rise this fast," she said, her voice trembling. By 6 a.m., the water was already inside our house. In Quezon City, 17-year-old student Joshua Ramos abandoned his school bag on a flooded sidewalk after slipping into a canal. "I just wanted to get home," he said. "I didn't care about the books anymore." Hospitals like the Philippine General Hospital, PGH, struggled to maintain operations. Emergency rooms remained open, but ambulances were rerouted due to impassable roads. At PGH's entrance, water reached gutter-deep levels, forcing staff to assist patients on foot. The MMDA deployed rescue teams and mobile pumps, but critics argued the response was reactive rather than preventive. "We've seen this pattern year after year," said urban planner Dr. Eliza Santos. "The infrastructure is not keeping pace with climate variability." The Department of Public Works and Highways, DPWH, faced renewed scrutiny over stalled flood control projects. Allegations of corruption and mismanagement resurfaced, with opposition lawmakers demanding an audit of the 8 billion Cuban pesos flood mitigation budget allocated in 2024. President Marcos Jr., in a televised statement, acknowledged the severity of the situation. "We are mobilizing all resources to ensure safety and restore normalcy," he said. "But long-term solutions must be prioritized." Metro Manila's vulnerability to flooding is not new. With over 13 million residents and a complex network of rivers, estuaries, and reclaimed land, the city sits precariously at the intersection of urban sprawl and climate change. According to Pagasa, rainfall on August 22nd exceeded 150 millimeters in some districts, enough to paralyze urban infrastructure. The LPA's transformation into Tropical Depression Isang was swift, catching many off guard. Combined with the Habagat, it created a perfect storm. Experts warn that such events will become more frequent. "We're seeing more intense rainfall over shorter periods," said meteorologist Dr. Ramon Villanueva. "This is consistent with global climate models." Experts warn that such events will become more frequent. "We're seeing more intense rainfall over shorter periods," said meteorologist Dr. Ramon Villanueva. "This is consistent with global climate models." As waters receded by late evening, the damage was tallied. Dozens of roads impassable, thousands stranded, classes canceled, and economic activity disrupted. Volunteers from the Philippine Red Cross distributed hot meals at evacuation centers. Local barangay officials coordinated rescue operations using makeshift rafts. Students helped elderly neighbors navigate flooded streets. Storm Kajiki has grown into a typhoon in the South China Sea, and rain clouds will cover the eastern part of Thailand's northeast on Sunday, according to the Meteorological Department. The department said that powerful tropical storm Kajiki became a typhoon in the middle part of the South China Sea late Sunday morning. The storm was moving northwestwards and should bring more rain clouds to Vietnam, Laos, and the eastern side of Thailand's northeast on Sunday, the department said on its Facebook page. A graphic on the Facebook page on Sunday showed that the department expected the storm to become a depression in Upper Laos adjacent to Thailand's north and upper northeast on Tuesday. At 5 a.m. Sunday, Sukanyani Nawinchin, Director General of the department, said Storm Kajiki would land in Vietnam and Upper Laos on Monday or Tuesday. She predicted heavy rains in Thailand from Sunday to Wednesday. The northern provinces of Kamphaeng Phet, Lampong, Nan, Phetchabun, Phuket, Phitsanulok, Phrae, Sukhothai, Tak, and Uttaradit. The northeastern provinces of Bang Khan, Chaiyaphum, Kalasin, Kon Kaen, Mukdahan, Nakhon Phanom, Nong Bua Lam Phu, Nong Khai, Sakon Nakhon, and Udon Thani. The central plain provinces of Kanchanaburi, Lop Buri, Ratchaburi, and Suphan Buri. The eastern provinces of Shanthaburi, Nakhon Nayok, Prakan Buri, and Trat. The southern provinces of Phang Nga, Phetchaburi, Phuket, and Ranong. Director of the Climate Change and Disaster Center at Rangsit University and Vice President of the Foundation of National Disaster Warning Council, on Saturday posted a warning on Facebook regarding the approaching Typhoon Kajiki, which is expected to bring heavy rainfall and potential flooding on August 26th to 27th. Currently, Kajiki remains a tropical depression, but forecasts from the Hong Kong Climate Center suggest it will intensify into a severe tropical storm on August 24th and a typhoon by August 25th. Seri stated that, while the severity of the storm is expected to be less than that of Storm Wifa, which caused flooding in late July, it is still likely to bring rainfall exceeding 300 millimeters in many areas. These include regions in the northeast, such as Bang Khan, Nakhon Phanom, Sakon Nakhon, Nong Khai, Loei, Udon Thani, and the north, including Nan, Chiang Rai, Phio, Chiang Mai, Mae Hong Son, Lamphun, Lampong, Phrae, and Uttaradit. The worst-hit area is expected to be Nan, where flooding risk is very high. According to initial assessments, areas such as Chiang Klang, Pua, the Wang Pha, Muing, and Wiang Sa are at significant risk of flash floods and overflow. Seri urged residents to prepare for evacuation and move valuables to safe locations ahead of August 26th. He also recommended staying clear of flood-prone areas, as the risk of overflowing is expected to peak on the morning of August 27th. Seri emphasized that no lives should be lost to this disaster, and residents should stay alert to official warnings from the National Disaster Warning Center.
Nako! Stress! Baha! Baha! Guys, mag-iingat kayo kaya dadaan dito sa Paura LRT. Grabe, baha! Ingat kayo, ingat kayo. Ingat po kayo ha, ingat. Ayun po, yung bus. Lakas loob.